Hello, I'm Laura Shields, Staff Developer at Shelby County Public Schools in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Welcome to our vodcast series, Shelby Speaks, Looking Forward. We chose that subtitle for two reasons. We're looking forward to the time when we can be face-to-face with our students again, but we're also looking forward in time to the educational future of our district. What are Shelby County teachers learning in the middle of this non-traditional instruction experience? And how will it transfer and transform their classrooms when they are once again inside their schools? In this episode, we're here today with Mercedes Dee Dee Jeffries, who is a kindergarten teacher at Heritage Elementary. Welcome to the vodcast, Dee Dee.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So I know that you have been teaching kindergarten for a few years now, and you have some structures in place, in your face-to-face instruction that you had to change a little bit as you entered this non-traditional instruction experience. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so teaching kindergarten, you have to show them how to do it exactly and what tools they'll need, and you sometimes need to show them 3 or 4 times for them to have it. So that was it's a big thing in kindergarten. They have to be able to see it first. You can't just say, go do this, this, and this, and expect them to do that. So they really need my guidance to know how to do it and be successful in what I'm asking them to do, to be able to show their mastery. So that's a big hurdle for us, and with virtual teaching, it's hard. We were having a hard time, or I was having a hard time that first week of NTI work, trying to get across to my students material that I needed them to know how to do and how to access things in their packet and know how to do those successfully on their own without much parent support. So we decided, or we found, I found through a colleague at MCM, she was using Flipgrid, and I had never heard of it. So she shared me her page, and I was inspired from the minute I saw her first video clip, seeing her kids on there and getting to see their personalities. It was the same thing that we were doing in class, and I knew that I had to implement that right away. So I did, and I shared that with my team at Heritage, my kindergarten team, and we are all three utilizing our own Flipgrid pages, and it's the same things that we were doing at school, same standards, and even new standards that we hadn't hit yet that we are covering now before the end of the school year. And it's the same concept as where we show them what we're asking for the day through a short video clip. It's something that hits one of the standards, or things that I can put into Empower just by watching how they manipulate the topic in their own virtual video. And it has been a great implementation for our virtual classroom time, because I'm getting to see their personalities and what they truly know. They do have some have parents that help them. Some want to be their own one of my little boys calls himself a YouTube star. He thinks this is YouTube, and it's really cool to him. He loves having hits on his video and having people watch it, and you can even reply to each other. So it's really cute to see them reply to each other's videos too. And I just love getting to see them in real time almost, even though we're not actually face-to-face. It's the closest thing to face-to-face instruction at this time. Mm-hmm. It's been really neat. We really enjoy it.
Yes, and one of the challenges you mentioned was the fact that sometimes parents don't know the practices that you're using. And so I know on your page that your whole team shares, you actually were able to help parents help the students.
Yes, we did have some parents that they just needed a refresher as well on number bonds and 10 frames. So in the video that you see, that is how to use a 10 frame for addition and subtraction. They knew how to show a number, and students are pretty aware with how to show a number in 10 frames, but it's a new concept, adding and subtracting using a 10 frame, and with our red and yellow counters. So every student in kindergarten was supplied with 10 counters in their NTI packet for this week, and they were able to use those at home. And so this is a video just showing them how to manipulate those counters and why there's a red and a yellow side and how to use those. And so it was good for the parents and the students because it was a new concept for everyone.
Mm-hmm. So you've really found a way to bring your workshop to them in their own homes, right?
Yes, and I think it's been really successful just in kindergarten. We do a lot. I mean, you're always moving, constantly moving in small groups and moving rotations. And they're not equipped just yet for sitting for long periods of time and completing worksheet after worksheet and packet. So even though that is that's what we're needing them to do, this is like an outlet where they get to be a little more free and still learn at the same time. Mm-hmm. They're using manipulatives like they would in our classroom that we've supplied with them. And even we've done number addition and subtraction problems where they find things in their home. It might be food one day or find stuffed animals and create your own number sentence, to create your own story problem using things that you find in your room. Mm-hmm. So we've been creative in that way and trying to get them what they need from our classrooms as well. So they really love it.
Yeah, I bet. And I bet they really enjoy seeing one another too. And I know you're really looking forward to getting back together with them face to face. Have you thought about how now that you're using Flipgrid and they're familiar with it, how it might help the transition back to the classroom or actually be used when you are face to face with students?
Yes, I have thought about that. And I would like to next year use Flipgrid in our real classroom. We do, like I said, we do a lot of rotations in kindergarten, math rotations, reading rotations. And I would like to use Flipgrid when we do a lot of assessing. And most of our assessments are one-on-one. So I am going to use Flipgrid to have what I have in mind right now is to have one of our rotations in math and in reading. And it might be every day. I'm not so sure about the time yet. It could be weekly or daily. But to have, even in math time, having students show me their 3D shapes. So one of our assessments is they have to identify 6 different 3D shapes, and they've got to know its name and all of its attributes. So I could have them in a station where they are working either in partner groups or one-on-one, where they're showing their screen, their video screen on Flipgrid, the different shapes, and I could watch those after school or even a day or two later and still use that as an assessment because they were showing me what they know. So I could even find gaps that they're missing and take notes on what they maybe got incorrect, what shapes they said incorrect. I mean, there's a million ways that I will be able to bring Flipgrid back into our real classroom.
Right. You've really you found a way to kind of multiply yourself during conferring time, right?
And it is. I'd say it'll help a lot because it does get stressful at times, depending on your class size, trying to meet with everyone one-on-one for 1,000 different activities. So I think it'll be really helpful. I know my assistant, Ms. York, will definitely appreciate that too. So give her a good time.
So if you think back to, 6 months ago when you were working in this classroom and all that you've learned through this teaching virtually and moving everything computer-based at this point, do you have any advice you would give to yourself, to the Dee Dee back then as a teacher about something that you've learned through this recent experience?
I would tell myself to just give technology a chance. And I know my students use Chromebooks for Dreambox and Lexia, but that's the extent. I really had faith in using it in any other way, to be honest. And this has opened my eyes that kids even 5 and 6-year-olds are definitely capable of getting on there. Many of my kids now don't even use their parents on their Flipgrid video. They log in and they look at it and they make their own video all on their own. So I just gotta give my kids a chance before I just mark it off the list and say, no, that's something that they're not able to do. Because it definitely is doable, even in kindergarten.
Yeah, that's a powerful reflection. Well, thank you for sharing the professional learning that's happening for you as you're implementing what's needed for your students to be able to learn at this time. Be sure to check out our Shelby Speaks Looking Forward playlist on our Shelby County Public Schools YouTube channel vodcast series. Thanks for watching.